Hello, and welcome back to the NastyMetalProductions channel here at YouTube, and welcome to the final album review of 2023. And so, for the final album review of 2023, I am here to give my thoughts on Cutting Class, the debut full-length album from the Donner Party. First released on vinyl back on June 9th via Soulgrinder Zine's Soulgrinder Records label. But then eventually, as you can see, it then got released on CD on October 14th again via the same label again, which is of course from the, well, one I'm wearing, the t-shirt, Soulgrinder Zine. Paul Caravasi again, everyone. The zine founder and label founder. So, without further ado, let me get this going, let's begin. Now, before I get into giving my thoughts on Cutting Class, you know what I have to do. I have to do a track list rundown so I can tell you folks what are the songs that are on this album, how many tracks that are on this album, and what is the time length for this album. Since this album consists a total of 16 tracks, it clocks in at the length of 40 minutes and 10 seconds. So, these 16 tracks are, beginning with The Light at the End, Poser Stew, Mondo America, Mung, Twice Dead, Razor Sharp, Gross Encounters of the Nerd Kind, Metal Militia, Shit Show, I'm Not Amused, Lethal Lunch, Ancient Terror, SFTMA, Open to Suggestion, The Grub, which is a cover of the New York hardcore band In Your Face, and is also exclusive to the CD copy of the album, which is the one that I'm reviewing for this episode. And of course, finally ending off with Serial Thrasher. So there you go, folks. There's your 16 tracks. So, I've known about the Donner Party. No thanks to, of course, Paul of Soulgrinder Zine. Again, having their stuff be released on his compilations, including, of course, the last one here, which was from last year, the Chronicles of Mosh comp, again with the song Serial Thrasher being featured on here. So yes, I've at least known about the Donner Party because of Paul of Soulgrinder Zine. So once he announced that he was going to be releasing their very first full-length album through his own label, of course I was stoked. I couldn't wait to check out their debut full-length album. I mean, they had EPs and everything, released prior, but this was going to be their first full-length studio album. This was going to be something. And first, again, like I've stated, he ended up releasing on vinyl first, and it would also be the very first vinyl release to be released under Soulgrinder Zine in general, Soulgrinder Records. And I know he would. I'm going to make it very clear. He did at least offer me several times on whether or not if I was interested in, getting it on vinyl, buying it. But obviously, money issues. Not as always. Let's just put it that way. Money issues. So I just kept declining. Finally, when it was announced that he was going to be releasing it on CD, back in, I think, late September, early October, of course, I couldn't wait to get a hold of it, but eventually he ended up sending me out a copy of it, which is why You see it in my hand right now. So, with this album in my hand, what are my thoughts? Honestly, this is a very good first full length for these guys who've been together since 2009 and have been releasing material since 2010. From the opening track, The Light at the End, all the way to the final track, Serial Thrasher, this is what you want from a crossover thrash album. Tons of machine gun riffs, gang shout backing vocals, the moshing polka attitude, humorous lyrics, and above all else, the blistering, neck-breaking intensity. Obviously listen to tracks like Poser Stew, the hilarious 50-minute Mung, Twice Dead, Lethal Lunch, and SFTMA, which stands for Shit from the Mule's Ass, reminds me of both SOD and The Raging Wrath of the Easter Bunny release from Mr. Bungle, in that they combine the fierce intensity with rather comical lyrics, making these tracks infectious. One of my personal favorites here is the song Razor Sharp, which is about the late Canadian pro wrestler Iron Mike Sharp. They even open and end the song with a promo that was taped on September 8th, 1984, for what I believe was for local Canadian TV to promote an upcoming live event that was going to have Iron Mike Sharp on the card. Again, this was actually when he was under the WWF. So, at least then, not now, where they are the WWE. Still, it's a great track that completely puts me into a frenzy. Another favorite of mine is Metal Militia, which is obviously about raising hell inside a mall. Funny thing is, it opens up with a clip taken from the movie Mallrats. Then there is Shit Show, which features Psilocybe singer Ishi Anais. It's a highly entertaining thrasher. Another favorite is I'm Not Amused, which is the longest song on here, clocking in at 4 minutes and 7 seconds. This track features guest guitars from Attacker member Mike Benedictos. Hope I pronounced that correctly. It's a vicious mosher that kind of reminds me of Nuclear Assault. Then we have Mondo America, which takes its inspiration from the 1982 film The Killing of America, even using a brief clip from the trailer. And of course there is Ancient Terror, which is about the 1981 horror film The Boogans, even taking a clip from the movie as well. Then finally, my last personal favorite is the album closer, Serial Thrasher, which instantly became a favorite of mine on the 2022 Soulgrinder Zine comp, Chronicles of Mosh. Now, I should talk about the production work. The album was produced by Mike Sabatini, who is best known for being in the band Attacker, and even played in the thrash band Jersey Dogs. He gives the band a crisp sound, but yet very crunchy, which adds some rawness to the album's sound. So overall, this is a very fun and enjoyable album and is easily one of my favorite thrash albums of the year. So there you go, folks. There's my overall thoughts on Cutting Class, the debut full-length album from the Donner Party. So, what is my rating? I am giving this a 8.95 out of 10. Again, I think this is a pretty good full-length album for these guys. Again, a good debut full-length album for these guys. Especially well after releasing EPs and stuff. This is a good starting full-length album for them. Again, it does kind of make it seem that they've been doing it for quite a while, so it does feel very more edged out in a way. It feels a bit more focused than compared to most bands, let's say their first album or whatever. But I think in a way, we're able to accept stuff like that. So we're pretty much accepting of looking at a debut album for what it's supposed to be, you know, as a debut full-length album. And I think this is a very good start. And obviously, I'm going to keep following the Donner Party, and I can't really wait to see what they end up bringing to the table for subsequent albums. And I hope you too as well. So I'm going to do my best to leave links in the description box, down below, to links where to listen to this, which will be on Bandcamp, and of course, where to buy this. And if you really like what you hear, through their Bandcamp page, please go out and support the Donner Party if you love just great old-fashioned crossover thrash, or just thrash metal in general. I can't see you not liking Cutting Class from the Donner Party, or maybe anything else from the Donner Party in general. It's a really fun album, and I hope you end up digging it, and I hope you end up supporting these guys, and I hope you also support Soulgrinder Zine, help support Paul of Soulgrinder Zine and all that. Please do. So, there it is, folks. I hope all of you enjoyed. This is Heavy Thrasher saying I'm out, and I'll see you all later. Take care, everyone, and thank you, Paul, for sending out this to me when you did. So, I very much appreciate it. Take care, everyone. And I hope all of you have a good, or at least had a great Christmas, and I hope all of you have a good New Year's. So, take care, and I'll be back in 2024. Take care.